What if I told you that the moment you stop caring is the moment everything starts chasing you? The moment you stop proving your worth, people start remembering it. The moment you stop overthinking, your glow returns. The moment you let go, everything that's meant for you flows in. And the moment you choose peace, they start wondering how to earn a place in your life. Hi guys, I'm Daria and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is a space where we dive deep into personal growth, self-worth, and letting go of anything that no longer serves us. Today we're diving into the power of detachment, not because you stopped caring, but because you stopped overgiving. We're talking about what happens when you stop chasing, stop performing, and stop begging for love or approval. This is about reclaiming your energy, your self-worth, and your peace, and watching everything start to align. Once you do, let's get into it. Chapter 1. The moment you stop trying so hard. You know what's fascinating? The second you stop obsessing, begging, over-explaining, over-texting, everything begins to shift. The moment you finally stop trying so hard, they lean in. Life leans in. There's a certain magic in detachment, a quiet power in not chasing, a gentle elegance in letting go. When you stop fighting for what's not fighting for you, peace shows up like it's been waiting inside the whole time. Let me guess, you were the one who always reached out first, the one who forgave before the apology, who edited your text message 3 times to make sure they didn't feel too much. You waited by the phone like it was paying your rent, checking it so often it practically became the second phase. You gave and gave and gave until you were drained, dizzy, and still somehow overlooked. You turn into an emotional ATM, open 24/7, no pin required. The surprise, no one ever made a deposit. You cared so much it almost hurt. You performed for love, thinking if you just tried hard enough, showed enough, proved enough, maybe they'd stay, maybe they'd see you, choose you, love you back the same way. But here's the truth. You don't have to perform. You don't have to beg. You don't have to win anyone over. You don't have to prove you're worthy. You just have to remember that you are. The woman who tries too hard, she's always tired, always wondering, always waiting. But the woman who lets go, she rests, she glows, she receives, and she still gets taken out to dinner. Only now she orders dessert without guilt and blocks weird energy without explanation. When you stop chasing what was never yours to hold, you start attracting what was always meant for you. Because your energy shifts, you move different, you speak less but say more, you stop explaining your worth and suddenly people start seeing it. What's more irresistible, a woman begging for breadcrumbs or one who walks away like the main course? 5-star women don't argue with 1-star behavior. And the minute you stop chasing things that are running from you, they notice and they start running back. Funny how that works. Besides, chasing a man is like chasing a train you weren't supposed to be on anyway, exhausting, and you end up look crazy on the platform. You don't need to scream to be seen. You don't need to shrink to be loved. You just need to sit down, straighten your crown, and watch how fast the energy around you shifts into place. Because the truth is, when you stop trying so hard, you finally remember just how powerful you are when you absolutely do nothing but choose yourself. Chapter 2. You weren't needy, you were taught to beg. You weren't born desperate. That was trained into you, taught, conditioned, reworded in small, painful ways. You might have been raised to believe that your value lived in what you could do, not in who you are, that being easy to love meant being quiet, low maintenance, undemanding, likable, lovable, bendable. You learned to smile through the ache, to apologize just for taking up space, to give second chances like candy, even when you were starving for a first one. They told you not to ask for too much, so you stopped asking altogether, and they called you chill while you slowly disappeared. Chill just meant you made their life easier, while quietly setting yours on fire. Since when was your silence the price of being loved? Not anymore. Needing love isn't the problem. Thinking you have to beg for it is. So when someone started pulling away, you didn't walk. You panicked, you chased, you got quieter, nicer, smaller, thinking if you could just say the right thing, do the right thing, shrink yourself the right way, maybe they'd come back. But love that asks you to disappear isn't love. It's survival dressed up as affection. You were needy. You were hungry. Starved actually for something real. And you were taught to settle for crumbs because you thought a full meal would make you too much. There is nothing wrong with you wanting to be chosen. There is nothing wrong with you craving for depth, consistency, or care. Those are human needs. What's wrong is thinking you have to earn them by contorting yourself into silence. You're not asking for too much. They're just used to a woman who asks for nothing and pretend it's romantic. Detachment isn't pretending you don't care. It's realizing that someone else's inconsistency is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of theirs. You're not cold for having boundaries. You're not rude for having expectations. You're not broken for needing reassurance. You're just a woman who got tired of overwatering dead plants and calling it love. You're just finally realizing love isn't meant to hurt. And you were never meant to beg. You were meant to choose. And that choosing starts with you. Choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's how you protect your peace and keep your glow intact. Chapter 3. Detachment is the real glow-up. You know what's the hottest thing you can do? Not quite care so much. No, seriously. Your peace, it radiates. Your boundaries, they shimmer. Your indifference to nonsense, absolutely blinding. The woman who doesn't flinch when you pull away is the one you remember. Why? Because confidence is unforgettable. Because nothing haunts people like a woman who didn't blink when they thought she would crumble. Detachment doesn't mean you've gone cold. It means you've gone wise. It's not that you stopped loving them. It's that you finally started loving you more. You can still want the relationship, the text, the call, but not at the cost of your self-respect. Wanting is human. Begging for it? That's a queen without her crown, and we don't drop ours. Detachment says, I want this, but I'll be okay if I don't get it. And that kind of confidence is the most attractive thing in any room, because you're not desperate. And let's be honest, desperation has never been alluring. Because let's be real, when you stop explaining yourself to people who were never listening, when you stop texting first to prove your worth, when you walk away without the dramatic exit, that's not ego, that's alignment. And alignment is the new luxury. It's how high-value women glow without even trying. Detachment isn't bitterness, it's clarity. It's that clean, crisp air of knowing you're not chasing anything that was never meant to stay, because you've learned you don't have to fight to keep what's truly yours. You don't have to perform to be picked. You don't have to lower your voice just to be heard. Repeat it until it becomes muscle memory. I don't chase, I attract. What's meant for me will find me effortlessly. If something isn't happening, it was never meant for me. Everything unfolds for my good. The real glow up isn't found in a mirror. It's in the moment you stop needing people to validate what you already know. You're the price, the upgrade, the piece they never saw coming. And when you detach from what dims you, you don't just glow, you burn brighter than ever. Chapter 4. Let the energy come to you. Everything is energy, and when you're in chase mode, you're basically telling the universe you don't have it. You don't believe you can have it. That's not confidence, that's fear pretending to be it. Detachment isn't about giving up, it's about leveling up. It's the difference between grasping and glowing. When you stop chasing, you stop gripping, you soften, you open, you align. And when you're aligned, you receive. Desperation repels, detachment attracts. Let the phone ring, let the message wait, let people wonder where you've gone while you're out brunching, browsing, and booking flights. You don't need to explain. Because here's the secret. The one who doesn't panic when the plan changes, she's not avoiding the moment. She is the moment. She doesn't spiral, she pivots. She checks her lipstick, reroutes her energy, and moves like her piece was never up for negotiation. She pours herself a glass of something chilled, sparkly, or both, and keeps it moving. The old version of her would have obsessed over the message, replayed the silence, searched for meaning in every pause. But now, she pours her drink, opens the window, and lets the breeze remind her anything meant for her won't need convincing. This is what alignment looks like. It doesn't chase, it attracts. You're calm, it's your crown. Wear it like it never slips. You don't need to prove your worth by performing, persuading, or pleading. You prove it by showing up in your full energy and letting everything else come to you. Let your silence speak for you. Let your absence echo. Let your peace protect your power. When you stop trying to force outcomes, you create space for miracles. You shift from control to confidence, from lack to luxury, from chasing to choosing. Because a woman who trusts timing trusts herself, and she knows she doesn't need to run after what's already on its way, because what's aligned doesn't require pursuit. It arrives with peace, not panic. Chapter 5. You are the peace you were waiting for. At the end of the day, this isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about no longer leaking energy in places that don't pour back. It's about caring deeply, just not about what drains, distracts, or diminishes you. It's about remembering who you were before they made you feel like you had to try so hard, before the overthinking, before the proving, before the shrinking. The woman who loved without losing herself. The one who knew how to walk away in heels she bought herself. The one who didn't beg because she knew her value was non-refundable. You don't have to act like you don't care. You just have to care more about you and ask yourself, how many times have you shrunk just to be kept? What would your life look like if you stopped auditioning for love you already deserve? So stop clinging, start clearing. Clear your energy, clear your schedule, clear your mind. And if it costs your peace, it's too expensive, put it back. Stop auditioning for rooms you were born to own. Let your silence be expensive. Let your boundaries be velvet ropes. Let your presence feel like peace and your absence feel like a loss. Because the globe isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet shift, the subtle reclaiming. The moment you realize you don't have to be chosen to feel chosen. And to be honest, in my teenage years, I used to be quiet, the overthinker. Detachment, that's something you practice over and over again. One tiny shift at a time. Even if you don't feel the difference right away, you will with practice. Now, my life feels a lot lighter because I no longer overanalyze every little thing that was never that deep to begin with. One day, it just clicks. Your peace matters more. And once that clicks, everything gets quieter, softer, freer. Turns out peace isn't something you find. It's something you stop giving away. What happens when you act like you don't care? You stop performing and start receiving. You stop chasing and start choosing. And suddenly, everyone else starts wondering how you became the one they can't forget. Say no without explaining why. Leave messages on read if they cost you your peace or your nervous system. Romanticize your routines like someone who knows she's worth the effort. Peace isn't passive. It's a choice you practice, a standard you keep. Let them wonder how you got so unbothered. Let them wonder why you're not chasing. Let them wonder what changed. Because the truth is, you did. You stopped waiting for peace to arrive and became it. That's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for being here. Peace isn't something you wait for. It's something you choose, gently and intentionally. You don't have to rush to your becoming. Even stillness is a part of the bloom. And never forget, you're the peace you were waiting for. Till next time.